Okay, so hey y'all, it's Tony Renee from Farmhouse Organic. I am doing this quick little video just to share some information with you. Let me turn my music down. Okay, so when I run into you all in person, a lot of you are coming to me and asking about the Coochie Care package, or you are asking questions about how you can get rid of yeast and BV, and then you get into stories and things like that about how long it's been going on and stuff like that. I don't mind. I'm here to help. But what I want to tell you is one of the easiest ways that you can prevent a yeast infection or BV from coming on is when you feel it coming on, when you feel the skin on your vagina start to change and it feels irritated, it feels, it's starting to get red, it's starting to swell up. Usually if a woman is experiencing these type of infections on a regular or chronic basis, they pretty much know when one is starting to come on. The easiest thing you could do is flush your system with water. You need to be drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. So if you weigh 120 pounds, you need to be drinking 60 ounces of water daily. If you weigh 300 pounds, you need to be drinking 150 ounces of water daily. So that is one thing. The next thing you can do is to cut down on processed foods, the sugar, the carbs, the alcohol, meats, fish, breads, snacks, things like that. Cut that down. Sugar will feed the yeast. Yeast feeds off of sugar, and it will continue to grow. The other thing you can do is try to get in some fruits and vegetables, leafy greens, fruits. Fruits are good to do in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, get you 2 glasses of water, okay? Drink that down. Then you're going to follow that up with some fruit. Eat that for breakfast. Fruit is going to help you flush out waste. Water helps you flush out waste, toxins, debris, whatever, back to bad bacteria, things like that. Some things you could do easily. They're not going to cost you much money. It may interrupt your normal, diet. Encourage women to do is to get yourself a multivitamin, a good multivitamin that makes sense, a plant-based multivitamin. You ladies, you can do this at home yourselves. You do not have to keep running back and forth to get creams and pills that are really just treatments. They're not cures. And here's the thing, some of us eat really well, right? But then we have hormone imbalances that knock our pH off and things like that. So whether you eat well or not, the hormone imbalance may be still there, not unless you go to the doctor and they're going to put you on some type of replacement hormone, or they're going to put you on the pill, which is really not a correction for the hormones. If you're on the pill for a hormone imbalance, once you come off of the pill, that imbalance will come back. So just keep that in mind. The pH balance in that vaginal ecosystem has been thrown off. That is something that is going to continue to happen for a woman who has a hormone imbalance. But do you want to run to the doctor every month to get a prescription, for antibiotics? Once you get on those antibiotics and you take rounds and rounds and rounds of those antibiotics, that is going to wipe out all of your bacteria. So all of your good bacteria is going to be gone, as well as your bad bacteria. Okay, the other thing, sex. We love it, right? But do we like it with the side of yeast infection or BV? No, we don't. But sex can throw off your pH balance, and it can give you a yeast infection or BV. And sometimes, I learned this from a OBGYN doctor. So sometimes what we think is coming on as BV is not BV. You may have a slight smell, slight fishy smell that is, I guess, resembling that of BV, but it's really just the man's juices. We'll call them juices. It's really just the man's juices. So if you're out here having sex and you're letting this man shoot up the club and you notice that, you know, you have a slight odor, sometimes it's the man. It's his smell. It's just now that smell is inside of you because you let him shoot up the club. So then what do? You're going to flush yourself with water and you're going to use the suppositories. That's what you do. 2 to 3 days of that and you should be okay. Now, if it does turn into BV, then you need to do a little extra, right? But it still is going to be easier than you going to the doctor and getting a full-blown prescription for antibiotics that is going to then turn you back around to the doctor for diflucan for a yeast infection. I mean, it's just this vicious cycle. I mean, who wants to go through that? I'm just saying. So why is this so important? Why am I out here making a public service announcement about coochie care and bacteria infections and yeast infections and all that? Well, let's see. So BV is recognized as the predisposing condition for urinary tract infections, sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV infection. Let's see. BV is an important risk factor for adverse pregnancy outcomes. What else? BV represents the most common vaginal disorder among women of reproductive age. If you have BV, it is basically saying that your body has a overgrowth of microorganisms, an overgrowth of bad bacteria, in other words. I mean, who wants an overgrowth in bad bacteria? So when you think about this in terms of Western medicine, there's no definite cure for reoccurring yeast infection. There are numerous therapeutic maintenance regimens for a yeast infection that include controlling symptoms. So sometimes there needs to be a different approach to treating the yeast infection. We go to the doctor, they put us up on the table, they look and they say, oh, you have a yeast infection. How often does the doctor take a sample, put it under the microscope, and see what species of yeast do you actually have? The medicines that they give us are sometimes used for a specific strand of yeast, and that may not be the yeast that you have. Okay, last thing I want to add before I go is that I am not a doctor. I'm not giving you direct medical advice. I am just a person that has a lot of experience with these things. So, I mean, always feel free to do your own research. Always feel free to ask me any questions. You can DM me, you can email me, you can text me, you can call. Peace and blessings. Until next time, I hope you all are enjoying today. If you're not, go out and find something to do so that you are enjoying yourself and making yourself happy and doing what you love to do and inspiring yourself and others to be great. So, until then, bye.